Don't come with her. She'll kill you.
Not too fast. You're too fast.
No, you want to be killed, Noah.
They won't share that with people, you know.
I'm on the fourth man, bro.
What?
Oh, wait, I see someone. Oh,
Use your water bending.
I know. Oh,
Who is that?
flamingo.
Hey, how you doing, Tia? Yeah, I just popped her on just now. I don't know how many more folks are going to come in. I got one anyway. We were out looking for apartments today. We found a pretty nice one. Let's see, who do I got here? I can't see that. Oh, I don't feel too bad. A little bit like an old geezer. I'm having a hard time walking. They did that biopsy on my hip, and it's got my whole hip hurting. So, hey, Sean, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, so we were looking at this apartment over here, not too far from here. Long walk to a store though, but pretty nice apartments. They'll have one ready for us in June. We got to fill out the application. VA is going to help us with the move. I fall under the income guideline by about $150, so they're going to help us with the move and the deposit, guarantor, whatever the other stuff they need. But it's a little bit cheaper than here. It's about the same size. It'll be more bedrooms. So let's see what we got here. Hey, Bams, how you doing? Yeah, we went out today and drove around, showed Faye the North Olmsted area and all this. The place where we're looking at is in Brook Park. So the little kids will go to that school, but the bigger ones will go to Berea. So Dorothy will go to Berea School still. I hate them to lose that. You know, all their buddies are there. But nice place, no swimming pool, which kind of sucks, you know, for the kids anyway. But place has been there almost since I've been born. It's been around a long time. And we met the lady today. I called them and then we went over there. And they have an apartment that was just completely trashed. The people that lived there just trashed it. So they're gonna put new fridge, new stove, new countertops, new cabinets. They're gonna redo the whole thing and it should be ready, she said, sometime mid-June. And she's got another one ready in May. And it's a little bit less than $1,000 a month. So that'll help us out a little bit. Because we're paying $1,100 here. And didn't see anything for Section 8 that's close by here. They said there's 16 of them in Berea, but we couldn't find any. You know, they'll say, oh, this is Section 8 place, and we'll go there, and they say, no, we don't take that. So, you know, we were trying to get a good deal, you know, something a little bit cheaper. That way, more money for the kids. Let's see, Bams, what does it say here? Sorry, I got to pick the phone up. I can't read it. Went pretty good with the new landlord. This woman is. We met her. Ashley was her name, and her company just got bought out by a big outfit, so she's not sure exactly how it's going to go. But we got to do a $35 application fee for each, and then $300 a piece for this. But they said it'll either go towards the rent or we'll get it back if we don't get the apartment. But she said it's looking pretty good. She says as long as you make 3 times what the rent is, and I make a little bit more than that, so we should be okay. I just wish they'd had a swimming pool, you know, for the kids, but, you know, we'll have to take them to the park or something. There's a couple parks in there, nice rolling grassy area, and there's some woods in the back, so. And not too far from the bike trail. Right at the end of the road is the bike trail again. And Mumu and Maddie been riding bikes. We want to get Dorothy one, and then Faye and I got the tandem. So, you know, we can all ride our bikes and stuff in the summer. I got to stick around here for my chemo, and then they're talking about this stem cell stuff. So we got to stick around here for a while. I could get Section 8 in Pennsylvania real easy. You know, there's tons of them there. You just file and boom, we would get a place right away, cheap. But you know, I got to finish out this chemo and all that. Yeah, the river over there. We saw some little kids last year. Maddie and I saw some kids fishing in there, pulling out little tiny finger fish. That's the Rocky River. You know, this has been the same since I was a kid. We're close to Olmsted Falls. They got a big river coming through there. We used to play when I was a kid. You know, we were there. Heck, we were there every damn weekend, swimming in that. There's like a little waterfalls there. So, you know, if we can get a car here soon, the lady at the VA, they gave one away last month that was donated to them. They gave it to a guy that was missing a leg of, what was it, Afghanistan dude. And she said, I'm next on the list if another car comes in. And I don't care what it is, as long as, you know, as long as it goes. People donate these things. And that would be, you know, hopefully that'll be good. We can pick something up. You know, we've been looking around to buy one, but, you know, they're just ridiculously expensive. So, but we got fishing poles and stuff. We can go back over the hill and do a little bit of fishing with the kids. Nobody will see us back there. You know, everything you got to have a license for anymore. It's just ridiculous. You know, 50 years ago, you didn't need a license for any of this crap. Now you need a license to fart in the air. It's just ridiculous. So, it's just a shame. But it's not real deep, that river, either. There's a couple pools where it's a little deep, but not real deep. But we'd like to, it would have been nice if they'd had a swimming pool at this place. But here they have a swimming pool. We saw some nice apartments, and we're looking at them. They're $2,800 a month and, you know, $2,000 a month and all this. It's like, that's way too much. That's way too much money. But like the lady at the VA said, she goes, this area is just ridiculously high. You know, it's where everyone wants to be. There's like no crime. So, you know. Yeah, I know. They get so shitty. It's all about money anymore, guys, when it comes to this stuff. You know, heck, when I was a kid and they'd come after us, we'd just jump in the water, swim to the other side because they won't get wet. You know, but me, I couldn't do that. Yeah, we can have a dog. We want one. You know, I'd like to have a dog, like a pit bull. I had a couple pit bulls before. They're just big old lap dogs. But I was renting a little teeny weeny place. I mean, it was only as big as this living room, and it was real cheap. And some young dudes kicked in my door, and that dog just laid around on my lap, and you know, I'd take it out to go poo poo, and she was just a nice pup. And when that guy come through the door, unbelievable how fast she knew something was up. She got the one guy, bit his wrist, broke his arm, and then the other guy, she bit him right on the crotch. I clobbered the first guy in the head, and then when the police came, took him away. They were there to rob me, and it's like, well, you coming to rob me? I didn't have nothing back in those days. I didn't have nothing. I didn't even have $2-3 in my pocket. But I'd like to have a pit bull for if I'm not around. And Faye opens up the door. You know, we got a couple people in here that got them, and they're just nice dogs. But you know, if you start to do anything offensive towards their master, oh, their hairs come up quick. You know, their hairs come up real quick. And I always liked the pit bull. Pit bulls and shepherds. And my brother had some beautiful Dobermans. And just, you know, I just always had a dog. This has been the longest we've been without a dog. Our little Shaky, we had to leave in the Philippines. Wished I could have brought her here. That was a real good pup of ours. I loved her to death. But bummer. They want $25 a month if you have a pet. And the apartment that's open is got 3 sides of windows, and it's facing east. So we get some beautiful sunshine in the morning, and it looks pretty nice. It's a little bit bigger than this one, but the bedrooms are small. And that's all we need, you know, just poke a double bed in the bedroom and a little thing to put your alarm clock, and you're good to go. Oh, I love the pit bulls. You know, I had 2 of them. I had 2 pit bulls. I had a brindle, and then I had that tan one. And they're just big old happy. All they want to do is lay in your lap and snore, and be good. But when the shit hits the fan, it just amazed me. I didn't even know she was going to do that. But she actually bit right through the bone in the guy's arm. And they don't have the biggest biting force compared to a lot of other dogs. But she bit right through the bone, and he was crying like a baby. I clobbered him. I had one of them little tiny, when you go to the stadium, they'd have bat day, and they give you these little tiny bats that are only about maybe 2 feet long. And I clobbered him pretty good on the back of the head, knocked him silly. And then she went straight for the other guy's crotch. She bit him right on the willy. And he's, help, help. And then I had a phone. I had a dang phone, and I hit, they didn't have, this was, I think, before 911. And police were there real quick when the police still had the green cars. And they came and hauled him away. But I got out of there. I figured somebody was going to retaliate, so I moved out of there. But I'd like to have another one. I'd definitely like to have another dog. Always had dogs. I never needed a leash for my dogs. They just follow me around. I learned something when they're little. If they start to run away and you call them and they run away from you, you run and catch them. Hey, you don't do that, because then when they get bigger, they still think you can run and catch them, even though you can't. And, like Shaky stayed with me when I went walking. Only one time did she ever run off, and that's when she was in heat. But other than that, she was a fantastic dog, fox terrier. But it's so expensive. You can bring a dog from here to the Philippines cheap, but it's super expensive to bring a dog from the Philippines here. The United States government they just don't want you to. And that was our dog. She was just a baby when I got her. Little Shake. I named her Shakes because when I was holding her, she was just shaking like a leaf, the poor little thing. But she warmed up pretty quick. But now she's old Tatai over there's got her, and she keeps looking for us. She says she's looking for us every day. We're her family. But if I could find somebody who has a pit bull, I'd like to get it. I just look in the paper; they want thousands of dollars for them anymore. Everybody wants a lot of money for their dog. When I was a kid, they gave dogs away. But I guess them days are over. It's like the cars, the $300 cars. A $300 car now is $5,000. It's just ridiculous how much they want for these pieces of junk. So all that Mercury, it looks great. And then the hole underneath was just completely rotted out. The frame was all gone. Right by your left driver's foot was just completely gone, and they had looked like bed frame in there and welded it. They knew, the guy knew it was no good. And he wanted all that money for it. He wanted like $9,500 for it. And some people wouldn't even think to look, because they ride nice. I think they rode nice. I wouldn't mind having a Mercury Marquis or Crown Victoria or something like that. Nice big car. Another ones that last a long time are the Econolines. Those things last a long time, and I like that little 4.6 motor. That's a great motor. Don't need a big motor. I had a Econoline with the 302 in it. I had that thing for years and years. And then every year after the salt, I'd get underneath it and wash it out real good, wash all the salt, because those frames will rust up in the front, by the steering ball. So, yeah, they got the dog shows. We don't have a car. That's the problem. That's the major problem of us doing anything around here. Everything is so far. It's like this apartment we move in. It's going to really suck. We have to get out of here. But it's really going to suck because we're far from the stores, and I got to find a car or something real soon. I got the bike, but it's just so damn expensive for a car. Hopefully that VA lady hooks us up. She says every 6-7 times a year there'll be a car donated to them. And she said I was next on the list for a car because I got the 3 kids, and we just fell under their income guideline for Section 8 and help with the move and all that kind of stuff. So that helped us out because I had to buy insurance. My insurance kicked in, and when I left the States, I had Kaiser. Well, Kaiser's no more, so it's like $880 for the insurance, and then the other one was 180. So that knocked off quite a bit of dough, and that put us under, so we can get help from them. So yeah, we're kind of glad about that anyway. But my brother Steve, he got 2 dogs out of the shelter, 2 Dobermans out of there, and those were nice dogs. You know, people get them, and then the dog gets big and they poop all over, and they don't know how to make them mind, so they just take them down to the shelter. And it's a shame, because after they're in the shelter for a couple weeks, if nobody takes them, they kill them because they get too many. And he had some nice dogs. He had some beautiful, he named him Josh. He had beautiful brown Dobermans. That last one he had, boy, that thing was just a real nice dog. You know, and those ones, they don't let anybody bother their master. You know, they're real good dogs. But we can't, you know, the shelter's way downtown, and we got no way of getting there. You know, even when I come home on the VA thing, they're not even allowed to stop. They have to take me all the way home. The guy said if we let you off, we'd get fired. You know, I said, oh, can you drop me at the store here? No, can't do it. Got to take you where I picked you up at. So, you know, and us not having a car just blows. It blows. We were going to take the bike, but our friend took us today to the new apartment building. And buildings, there's a whole bunch of them. And years ago, I knew a lot of people who lived in there. The lady said there's like, cops never bother anybody. There's no trouble over there. She said she's been there for 3 years, and she said it's just nothing. She's got her and her little kid there, and she's the manager. Ashley was her name. Very, very nice girl. And so she gave us the applications, and we're going to fill them out. She said that the trash one should be ready in about mid-June, about when we're ready to go. And then I got to get a hold of the VA, and they said they'll help us with the anything we need, down payment, U-Haul truck, and all that kind of stuff, you know, for the vets. And I was like, okay, because my disability number's going up, you know, because with the cancer, and it's real hard for me to get around. I just barely made it up them steps today. They had the leasing office used to be downstairs over there years ago. Now you got to go up a whole bunch of steps to the upper level, and oh, I just made it. I was so pooped when I got home today. Okay.
No.
Yeah, the Great Pyrenees are nice dogs too. Those are really, they're big. They're real big. I had a buddy, you know, another dog that I really liked. I had a buddy that had these 2 Mastiffs. Big old slobber pusses is what they were. And my favorite dog I ever had, I had a Great Dane, and I just loved him. He was something. He could bite your head. That's how big his mouth was. And but you know what happened to him? I had him for about 8 years, and then he got real old. His face got all gray, and then he got to where he couldn't move around, and then he just sort of put his head on my lap and croaked. And I was like, wow. And I cut him open here, and then I found out he had heartworm. Them dang things all wrapped around his heart. And from then on, then I give all my dogs that little heartworm chunky thing every month, you know. But that heartworm got him, otherwise he'd lived longer. And he was a good dog. Man, he was the best dog. My sister gave him to me, and I had him for a long, long time. He was a brindle. His name was Great, King Tut. Had all the papers and all that stuff on him, and just a big old friendly happy boy. He was the biggest stupid dog you ever seen. Slobbered all over the place. He'd shake his head like this, and he'd have big slobbers all wrapped around his face. Oh, he was something, old King Tut. But he was one of my favorite dogs I had. And then another one I had was one I called Scrump. She was a little shepherd, and the lady was breeding them. And these were all like 100-plus pound shepherds. And this little female came out. And when she was full grown, she was about 40 pounds. And they didn't want her. And they said, you know, it's to run to the litter. You can have her. You didn't have to train that dog. That damn thing trained itself. Hey, how you doing, Ronald? How you doing, buddy? But she trained herself. That was the smartest dog in the world. Went with me everywhere. And you didn't get near me. You know, even though she was small, she didn't like anybody coming in close contact with me. She would get in between, and just her hairs would go up, and she'd start growling. I don't know why, but that's just the way she was. And I had her for a long, long time. She was a really good pup. I called her Scrump. Not much, Ronald. We were looking at apartments today, and I took the girls out for our friend that took us there. I took the girls out for lunch. Had a Whopper. They had chicken sandwich. So that was pretty good today. But we got the applications for that. We got to get. Hopefully, we'll get this. We'll get this place. I gotta do the application and give it to the lady. We're gonna fill them up, and we'll give it to them this coming month. You know, I got lots of stuff to do this month. It's gonna just eat money. But my hands are all still. I got no feeling in my fingertips today. And then I was all blocked up. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. My buddy Gary from the Philippines, I couldn't go for, it was like 7-8 days. And he says, I'm going to give you a real good tip. So he told me about this stuff right here. And you take a tablespoon or a teaspoon of this stuff, put it in water and drink it down. Man, I'm telling you, it works. Cleared me right. All that crap they gave me at the hospital is worthless. Throw it in the garbage. This stuff works. And it works within about 5-6 hours.
Ay, nakabili ako ng bulok. Dorothy.
Yeah, my mother had a English bulldog, called him Clementine. That was a real nice dog. She was a real sweetheart, big fat thing. Our neighbor's got a big pit bull over here, named Samson, 150 pounds. He's a monster. He comes in, every time he comes into our house, I give him some bologna or a hot dog or something. He's my buddy. But he's monstrously big. He's about 7-8 years old. The man calls him Samson. I said, yeah, great name for him because he's huge. Biggest damn pit bull I ever seen. But he's our buddy. Every time he sees me, the guy just turns him loose and he comes running up, and I love him up. The guy keeps him real clean. He's never stinky. You know, he takes him out to the can out here every morning, and he always comes by our place. I like to leave the door open in the morning. That way, if Samson comes through, he just comes right on in, you know. And he likes me. He'll put his head on. He'll put that big monstrous head of his on my lap and just let me pet him and rub him up. So. Yeah, you don't want to get, like I see people in the Philippines with huskies. I mean, what a ridiculous dog to have. Yeah, I know, Ronald, those ones. My mother had a brindle bulldog. She was like a show dog. And then they bred her for pups, and her bag got messed up. So the lady that was running her give her to my mom when she was about 4 years old. And boy, she was a great pup. Just a big old happy dog. We could pull on her tail, pull on her ears, and push her down and play with her in the yard. She didn't care. She liked playing with us kids. You know, and she tried to. She was so fat. You know, she was like a big fat chick trying to jump up and down. She was a good dog. Don't know whatever happened to that dog. But we're gonna keep. You know, I'd like to find one. It's just they want so much money for a pit bull. I've seen them where they want $1,000 for one. You know, so if we get a car, we'll go down to the pound. And I got a couple dogs out of the pound in years past, where you go down there and just go every week until you find one that you like. You know, one that's looking at you and wants to be your buddy. And I got that chocolate lab from there, and she was a great dog. Boy, she just started staring at me. Turned her head. And I went over by her and looked at her, and she was licking my fingers, and I said, "Can I have this one?" And I had to pay like $45, you know, for the shots and stuff like that. And the guy gave me a collar, and I took her home, and she was big. Somebody just threw her out. You know, she was probably about 1.5 years old, and boy, that was a nice dog too. She's just the biggest old happy. Worst thing she could do, she had that damn tail. If she clubbed you with that tail when she was wagging it, it hurt. I'm not kidding you. Big old chocolate lab. She's about 100 pounds. But we'll get one. I want to get one for the kids again, and you can train them to keep from pooping. You know what I mean? From pooping in the house. I never really had dogs that pooped in the house. The only dog I had, the one I called Pooper, was as soon as I put her down, she pooped on the floor.
Shaky did.
Yeah, but like one time.
Once.
Yeah, once. Yeah, they do it one time and then rub their nose in it, and then they're not liking that. So, but I never had problems with dogs pooping in the house or peeing in the house or anything like that. Most of them would go sit by the door, or I had one of them things from the hospital, those blue things they put underneath the patients, and I'd train them to pee on that. There you go. Yeah. My uncle had a border collie, and he gave it to me when he got sick. He was dying, and then when after he passed away, his brother said, "No, you can't have that dog." And I was like, "Oh, he gave it to me." "No, you can't have that dog," and it ran out in the road and got killed. And I was real bummed about that because that dog was smart. That was my uncle's dog. Went everywhere with him. And then when Uncle he was right there when they had him in the box, and the dog knew what was up, and then he was coming with me. He knew he was going to come with me. I was going to put him in my truck and take him, and the other uncle said, "No, you can't have him. I'm taking him." And I'm like, "Oh wow, he gave him to me," But I would have liked to have that dog. That was a real nice dog. Looked like the dog on Spanky and Our Gang. He had a ring around one eye, perfect like a monocle, like Colonel Klink around his one eye, and he was black and white. I'd say he probably went about 75 pound, and strong, real strong dog, about 3 years old, and smart as a whoop. Boy, that thing was really something. He would go after them possums and stuff and bring them back. Bring you possums, bring you squirrels, drop them at your feet, and then they run off and you catch them again. Yeah, you cannot leave them in the house. Even my uncle said that. He goes, you got to keep them busy. You have to keep them real busy. But he had a big yard with bunches and bunches of chickens, and I told him, I says, "Boy, that's pretty nice. That dog, I never see him poop in the grass." And the dog, he opened up the door. He says, "Watch this," and he opened up the door, and the dog went out to poop. And while the dog was still pooping, the chickens were eating it. They were eating the dog poop. But he fed that dog whatever he was eating, But that's what it was. It was a border collie, and not real long hair. But that was a real nice dog. I wished it wouldn't have got run over. But we just got Maddie just picked me up another car book. There keeps to be a couple cars near I'd really like to have. I just don't have the dough yet. We're gonna, after this month, we should be able to put plenty away because we're gonna be saving a little bit every month on rent. If we can find something Section 8 though, I just got a thing in the mail today from VA. It finally came. It's all these Section 8s in the area, and I don't think we're going to be able to stay in this town. But couldn't get it. Couldn't get anybody to loan me the money on it. It's still sitting there, and man, is it nice, buddy! Absolutely beautiful. Runs like a brand new. I mean, you could balance a nickel in the valve cover. And it's everything the guy said. There's not he goes, if you could find one speck of rust on there, I'll give you $100. We couldn't find any. It's got receipts from the dealer from the day it was born. The guy took it up to the dealer. It's got new belts, new hoses. All the grease fittings were full of grease. Even the universal joint, we were able to drive down and put it on the lift and look at it. And I'm telling you what, that thing was just perfect. Just absolutely perfect, but I didn't got the money. The guy wants $5,000, and he said, you can offer me $49.99.99. I ain't gonna take it. He says, you bring me $5,000, you can drive it away. And I had the 400 motor in it, and everything worked. Everything on it worked, and it was absolutely gorgeous. But I don't got $5,000. If I had $5,000, I'd be down there today buying it. But, and it would have been plenty big for us. It had the jump seat. Had the one that pulled out from the front seat, so you could have like 3 rows in it. Man, that thing was nice. All the options on it. All the options except airbag. The guy said he didn't want the airbag suspension, and he had the springs on there. But yeah, beautiful car. But I don't got the money for that, and it'll be gone by the time I ever did get the money. It'll be long gone. You know, but let's take it for a ride. And boy, that thing, you couldn't even hear the motor. You could hear the transmission whining just perfect, that C7 transmission. And no leaks anywhere. A little bit around the U-joint, but I think that was from the grease, you know, because they had greased the universal joints. And a little bit around the back pumpkin, right up in the front. You know, but seepage, I mean, nothing big, normal. But other than that, everything was good. Under the hood, it looked all brand new. It was all clean. New hoses, new belts, new radiator fluid. Tranny fluid had been redone. He said he had it redone every year. You know, took care of it. Took it up to the dealer. Told the dealer, hey, do it, knock yourself out. And the guy had it from brand new, and now he's getting to where he just can't drive it. He said he can't drive it no more. He's like 89 years old. So, but didn't get that one. It's still sitting there, you know, still sitting there, but I wish I had $5,000. I'd go get it. I applied at the bank for it. Let's see. So find your house and get the Biden open borders. Yeah, we found a place. We found a place up here. There's no Mexicans around here that I've seen, or foreigners. I want my daughter and kids to learn how to speak Spanish, but we don't see any around here. I don't know if they keep them out or what's going on, but we just don't see any. They think my wife's Mexican. She's Filipino, but they think she's Mexican. So, but we were at the subway the other day, and that lady asked her, "Are you Mexican?" She says, "No, from the Philippines." Yeah, it was definitely a good-looking car. There wasn't a speck of rust anywhere on it. And like I said, everything worked. Even the little headlight thingies worked. You could see new vacuum hoses under the hood, and when you hit the gas, you could not hear the motor. The guy he said a few years ago he hit a groundhog, and it messed up the muffler, dented the muffler. So he just had took it back to the dealer, had him put a brand new exhaust from the front all the way to the back with the resonator. You couldn't hear the motor. You just couldn't hear it until you got in the back, and then they had a real nice rumble, 400. And I had one of them. I had a 79 400. That's the last of the big ones. And then they went to the 80, the smaller ones, which I had one of those too with the 302 in it. That was a good car, but my dashboard was completely out on that one. And my 79, it had a heater core leak. Well, you got to take the entire dash out, and that takes half a day. So instead, I just cut the firewall. I got a Sawzall, and I cut the firewall out and pulled it out from there. Yeah, the Mexican food's pretty good. We got a Mexican restaurant right over here, for real one. Maddie and I went up there and got a couple tacos apiece, couldn't finish them. They give you these tacos, they're like a mile long with all the stuff. Boy, those were good. Those were real good. Expensive though. I think it wasn't that expensive. 2 of them for $11. And we couldn't finish them. But yeah, we're hoping we get a car so we can do a little bit of traveling. Maddie's going to be going to the zoo on the 14th with school. Dorothy went on an outing today. They're getting the end of school, so they're getting to do a few things. Moo hasn't gone on any outings yet, but I signed the papers for Maddie to go to the zoo, and they're going to be going on a big bus down there. I went when I was a kid, Oh, boy.
No.
Which one?
Small.
But the baby one. He gives me, there, my little boy gave me an orange. Look at that. Where is it? There, he gave me a piece of orange.
This is mine, the big one.
He's a good boy. Taco Bell, that'll clean you out. Well, I'll tell you what, though, guys, if ever you get, they're giving me all this medicine, and my buddy Gary, he was the same way. They were giving him all these medicines. He was hurt real badly, and they're giving him, morphines and stuff, which blocks you up. And he was having all kinds of trouble. And then somebody told him about this stuff. And then he told me the other day about this, and I found it here at Walmart. $18 for that thing. It's really horrible tasting, but I took a teaspoon of that in water, and then it was about 6.5 hours later. I thought, oh, I'll go sit on the can. Cleared me right out. It just cleared it right out. It even smelled like this stuff. It's green. It's I don't know. It's got, what has it got in it? Oh, I can't read here. What do we got? Ingredients. Let's see. It's got senna leaf, psyllium fiber, fennel seed, papaya leaf, rose hips, and lactobacillus acidophilus. And then it's got like a little bit of potassium, which I got to be careful of. And we got the dietary fiber. 20 calories per serving. Thank you, buddy. I'll tell you what, guys, if you ever get locked up, go to Walmart and get some of this Super Colon Cleanse. It works. I can attest to it. And my buddy told me, he goes, it works. He said he tried everything. And then somebody told him about that. Because, I've gone 10 days without going. I'm so blocked up. I was impacted twice already. My teeth are still out. They looked at my teeth at the VA and said everything's pretty good. I saw they have a glasses place. I hope they can get me some glasses. These ones I had done in like 2007, so they're a little bit old. I couldn't pass my eye test. With these, I had to use my wife's glasses to pass the eye test for the driver's license. And I couldn't see the thing down in the bottom over here. So I had to take these off and put my wife's glasses on. And then I was able to pass it. I have to get down there and get my motorcycle test yet. I never did finish that. They put it on there, but I still have to go and finish the paperwork on that. But I got my my bike out here. I hope I can ride it soon. I'm just worried about this hand squeezing the clutch in case it gives out. But we had a beautiful day here. It was like 70 degrees. We drove up through Olmsted Falls, and I showed my wife where the Walmart was and that. Pretty much done with it. I was going to say something, but I always upset you. I don't know who you are. Pretty much done with it. I don't ever remember seeing you before. Yeah, I don't know who you are. Pretty much done with it. Maybe you're talking to somebody else. I don't know. Yeah, but we're doing okay. We're hopefully we'll get into that new place here pretty soon and we'll get some help. We'll get help with the move. They got that. They sent me a whole bunch of stuff. The VA. They sent me this huge packet. Oh, Ban Jammy, huh? Hey, how you doing? Oh, you got. Okay. All right. Now I know who you are. All right. I didn't know you upsetted me. Did you upset me or something? I don't know. I don't get upset over much, to be honest with you. But some people, they think what they think, and I don't know why they think what they think. But if I'm upset, I'd let somebody know. But I got itchy ears today. I had some blood in this here. I don't know what the heck was going on with that. I'm taking these thinners, and they keep telling me, oh, you got to come in for the blood work, and then they don't send the van. They say, okay, here's your appointment, and they don't send the van. So I can't go down there. And I'm hopefully this warm day is coming up. I'll be able to jump on the bike and ride it. Let's see. We will wrench it shut if it ain't nice. No time for that. Oh, there you go. There you go, buddy. Hey, Ken, how you doing, buddy? Hey, long time no here. Yeah, we're doing okay. Kids are doing really good. My kids are getting A's and A pluses in school. You know, they're doing all of them. They're doing really good. Teachers are real happy with them. Wish we didn't have to move them out of this school district, but we can't find anything in this town. You know, I would love to keep them here. Maybe the VA could be the guarantor here, and we could just stay here, and try to find a 2-story or 2-bedroom or something. But that's why they're putting us out, because we got too many people in 1 bedroom. They claim. So you know, I hate the idea of going, because I want to keep these kids in the school. They're happy in their school. You know, they got lots of their little buddies, and I don't want to move them around and discombobulate them. You know, that's when kids' grades start falling off, when you start bouncing them around. You know, so I don't know what's going to happen. We can't seem to find it's very expensive over here. Very, very expensive in this part of town, but the crime's good. Cops don't seem to bug you. You know, we got stores right across the street. This place that we're going to, the closest store is probably 2-3 miles. Teasing. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm glad a few of you on here. I see you can put me some thumbs up on there. Thanks, guys. I haven't been putting the monetize on any of this stuff anymore, because they don't pay me anyway. These pricks. They send me a dang letter saying I got 4,000 some dollars in the account since I started this, and they never send it to me. And then next month on the 20th, they'll send me another email. Oh, you know, you got $4,112, and they never sent it to me. So we got fishing poles. My sister's husband bought Maddie and I for Christmas fishing poles, and Maddie got a real nice tackle box. But we can go dig up some worms and go fishing. I'd like to find some farm ponds around here and get some bluegill. Yeah, the trike, we sold the trike. No, I never went fishing in the Philippines. They put all these baskets around the shoreline. You can't even get into the water because everybody's doing tilapia in these big baskets. You know, you have to walk on top of the baskets and stuff. And so you don't get, you know, there's really no place to fish. There's not even a place to put your boat in. I've seen people with boats and stuff, and you can't get in the water because all these big metal baskets with all the fish in them. So, you know, we went to a couple lakes there, and it's shitty the way they do it. You know. Yeah, I went fishing off of Florida coast off of Fort Lauderdale one time, and I caught one of them sailfish and reeled that son of a gun in. They said, "Oh, that's real hard to do." I didn't have a problem, reeled them in. And then what'd they do? Instead of giving me a fish, they gave me a plastic casting of it and mailed. Big, you know, they just laid the plastic over it and heated it up and let it melt over the fish. And somebody painted it, and that's what I got. But, yeah, I didn't even get to eat any of it. They took it. The guy on the boat took it. I seen that one lady is suing the tuna boat. She hired a tuna boat for $800, and she went out and caught this big tuna fish, and the boat took it. They got into shore, and they took it and took the money and took off, and she's suing them. I just saw that on YouTube. Yeah, me, when I was in the Philippines, never fished. We went a couple times, but you couldn't get to the water. You know, so just open up one of the baskets, grab some tilapia, throw it in your bucket, and go home. You know, that's how you do the fishing. I used to love to go bluegill fishing, though. Those are my favorite fish to eat. We had, when I was in Pennsylvania, there was a farmer who had 2 big ponds, and he's like, "Hey, take all you want. You can come up here anytime you want and fish." And those, you don't even need a rod and reel. You just need a little green pole. and you don't cast out. You sit right by the shore with a little worm, and you can catch all them damn things you want in the evening. You know, I used to catch a 5-gallon bucket full of them damn things, and the way you fillet them, you just lay it on the gill, you go right to the bone, and then you take the skin off, throw them in a frying pan with a big glop of butter, and it's like eating lobster. Oh, I'll tell you what, I had, when I was in the Philippines, a fella caught one of them red snappers, and the lady cooked that thing up. I bought it. The guy was showing it to me, so I bought it off him for like, oh, sorry about that, guys. I bought it for like $3.50. This big, beautiful snapper. And this lady cooked it up, and we all shared it. And boy, you talk about a good eating fish. Those red snappers are absolutely fantastic. And I'm not really that big of a, fish guy. Yeah, we're hoping when we get this thing, they're talking about doing stem cell. I got 2 more chemos, Monday and then the Monday after, and then he's talking about doing the stem cell. And I don't know how long that takes or how long, but once that's done, I'd like to move. We can get a lease that's, month by month or 6 months or 1 year or whatever. The lady told us so. It'd be nice to go month by month. That way, if we decide to get, we can get. And we're not going to be taking a whole lot of this stuff here. I like this hospital bed, though. I sleep really good on it. I slept like a lot. Oh, man, last 2 days, that's all I did was sleep. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were looking at over there too in Alabama, and I want to be in the South and get away from this cold weather because it's really kicking me in the ass. The cold weather right now, my hands hurt so bad, and it's warm here today, and my hands still hurt. I want to get into heat. I lived down in Fort Lauderdale for about a year, working a job down there, and I liked it down there. And there was plenty of work. Oh my goodness, all the work you wanted, but the rents were ridiculously high. I mean, they were real high. So, my sweetie picked up some corn today, so we're gonna have corn for dinner. The other morning, you know what we had for breakfast the other morning? Corn on the cob and watermelon. I sent the kids off to school with that in their belly. That was a good one. Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy? Hey, glad to see you on there. Mr. Mike My Ranch. Clobber him in the head if any of these knuckleheads come on from the Ricky Bobby channel. Yeah, there's something, those guys. I feel bad for some of them, though. They don't have much of a life, those poor guys. They just got hose and stuff. And that's not the way. My phone keeps falling down, damn it.
32 people left.
I talked to my buddy Sean for a while. Him and his sweetie want to come out for a visit. And then I talked to my buddy in the Philippines. When he comes to the States, he wants to come for a visit. And I said, well, hopefully we'll be in a new place. I'm going to buy a love seat and a couch, and there'll be like a bed thing. So if anybody comes, they'll have a bed. Plus we got the cot. So. NVIDIA stock. I don't know what that is. Yeah, that's my buddy Mike.
Pretty fun, the local.
Yeah, this coming payday, I'm going to get my 450 Bushmaster ammo at the store. Prices came down on that quite a bit. It's like half of what it was when I looked before. So, I'm going to get that, maybe take it out and do a little bit of plinking with that big 450. But boy, that thing's hard to pull back. The spring is so heavy for that big cartridge, but it ought to be good. It ought to be real good. I'd like to get one of those Savage shotguns too. They got that new one, the M1 out. I want to get that in the next couple of months too, because if we go down south or we go to Pennsylvania or somewhere like that, it's always nice to have a shotgun with double-aught buck, for the coyotes and stuff like that. It depends on where you get them, Bams, where you get the tilapia. But my wife just picks some up. If they're grown here, they're okay, But the ones in the Philippines, who knows how those are grown? I seen them pull them out of these mud flats. These things weren't even in water; they were in mud. They just rinse them off and put them up for sale. It's nasty, and they get all kinds of metals in them and all problems. But here they raise them in the tilapia farms. I don't know how clean the lake is anymore. I know when I was young it was pretty dirty. The fish were full of mercury. Now I think they cleaned it up though. And the rivers too, they cleaned up quite a bit. They're not dumping so much shit in there anymore. Lake Erie is the shallowest lake out of all the Great Lakes. But that would be good to go down to Edgewater Park and go swim in the lake. But it's a big difference when you're swimming in the lake compared to the ocean because you'll just go right to the bottom. There you go. Oh yeah, when I was a kid, it was bad. I remember when the Cuyahoga River was on fire, going into it, and from all the stuff these companies were dumping in, and they got on them. They stopped dumping that crap. And then the last time I was out, we went on that Captain Frank's riverboat cruise. The water looked pretty clear. Looked real nice. Yeah, I went that with my brother-in-law. We went out for perch fishing on his big boat. Yeah, tilapia. Yeah, they will. Tilapia will eat another baby tilapia. But yeah, I know they eat anything. But we went for perch. We got when we went fishing, we got 103 of them. We filled up that deep well full of them, and then my brother-in-law was making them with beer batter. He was dipping them in that beer batter, some kind of pancake mix. Instead of water, he used beer. And he was slapping them in the frying thing, and we were eating them as fast as he made them. Those were really good. Yeah, they got the little sail on the back. The perch that we get, they're like green stripes. The ones that we got out of the lake. Not real big, maybe a foot long, a little bit longer. But we caught quite a few of them. Hey, how you doing, Westons? Yeah, we're doing okay. I'm still a little bit weak from this chemo, and my hip. They had done a biopsy on my hip for the bone marrow, and now my right hip is I can hardly put weight on it right now. Last couple of days, and so I just gotta wait till it clears. They said it'll take a month or two. Yeah, they got a lot of these little ponds with the crappie. I caught one time. It was about 15 inches long, and these guys were like, "Man, it's like a record." I don't know. I threw it back in. Yeah, I ain't getting in any hurry, guys. I'm just taking it easy and walking as much as I can today, but not pushing it. But yeah, I hope this heals up soon. I keep asking the doctor, when's this shit gonna kick in so that I start feeling better. And then I talked to an older fella, Al, that had the same thing as me a couple years ago, and he said it was a good 2 months after he finished the chemo before he felt better. He didn't have to get the stem cell, but he said it was about 2 months, and then he started gaining weight again, and he got back to his old self. And then he said his wife passed away, and I was like, oh man, what a bummer. He's a real nice fella. I see him on, he was there on Thursdays. Now I'm going on Mondays, and I haven't seen him since I've been on Mondays. But I met a lot of people. The girl when I went to the dentist, the girl at the dentist had it. She had the same thing I got, multiple myeloma. And I said, man, when did they find out about that? She said, yeah, I just got real weak and went in and had them do a scan, and they said, you got it. But they caught hers when it was only about 10%. They got me when I was about 95%. Yeah, the biggest one I caught, it was about 15 inches, because I had that little trout bag. I don't like trout, though. The dang trout, as far as I'm concerned, you can take the trout and throw them right back in the river or the lake or wherever you get them from. They taste like, I can't stand them. That's a nasty tasting fish. But most of them around where I used to fish, they come off a truck and then they throw them in the streams and stuff. But we caught some native. We were way up in Allegheny Mountains, and my buddy knew this little stream, little tiny stream. It came out of the ground and it went for about a half a mile and then went back in the ground. And there was these little tiny trout in there, and they were orange inside. And he just went and scooped them up with a net. And we took them over the thing. I was gutting them, and we brought our little tiny fry daddy thing or fry baby, and we fried them up. And boy, those were good. Those tasted real good. Yeah, I caught a 150-pound carp in the Missouri River. You know, my uncles had the fish house, and you catch them in the big hoop nets. Yeah, Lake Erie, like I say, it's the shallowest lake. It only takes 2 years for it to totally replenish its shelf, where it takes 80 years for Michigan to replenish all its water because it's so deep over there. But I think it hits a maximum of 200 feet or something. And underneath that lake is where you got your Morton salt mines. I went on a tour of that years and years ago. You were underneath the lake. And I'm thinking, man, I sure would hate for that to cave in. You'd be dead meat. But that's where they got the Morton salt from for years and years, right underneath Lake Erie. But, you know, they had tours. I don't think they have them anymore, though. I don't think they have the tours anymore. But Cleveland, a lot of people, they give Cleveland a bad rap. But I've been in a bunch of the big cities in the United States, and I like this city. I just wish it wasn't so cold. Oh, I was bummed. I was out at Keystone Power Dam, and I caught this muskie. Big, long, biggest fish I ever caught in my life, and they made me throw it back because it was a half an inch too short. The dude come up with the green thing on in his little boat, and he pulled his measure out. He goes, "Nope, got to put it back." And it was like this much from being biggest fish I ever caught, and he made me throw it back. I was really bummed. Yeah, I fished on the Missouri River and the Mississippi. But the Missouri River, that was close to where my uncle was. And then they had a little river coming into it called the Luder River. And you could catch monstrous catfish in there because they would come up that Luder River to get stuff to eat. You know, people, you know, it was like a big gully. And people would throw stuff down that gully down into the river. It was real hard to walk. You couldn't get down there on your hand and foot. You had to go way up to the headway and come that way down. You couldn't, it was too steep to come down the sides. So they'd throw their stuff on there, and you'd see these big catfish. I mean, these catfish were like as big as my torso. You'd see them wiggling up on the water and just glurbing this stuff to eat, like wrappers, McDonald's wrappers and garbage and stuff. Those things eat anything, too. Yeah, my uncle, that's what he did for a living. He worked on the Standard Oil barges on the Missouri River up until he retired. I didn't, Weston's. I didn't go fishing. We went a couple times, but you couldn't get in the lakes because all these tilapia baskets everywhere. Damn things go out 20 feet into the lake, and you can't really fish off of them. You can't stand on them. Yeah, so it was like, you know, it's really crappy. But we went a couple times, some buddies of mine, and we went way up, you know, trying to find these lakes to fish. I had my fishing poles, had all the stuff, but you can't fish. So. But, I never knew anything about any licenses that you need or anything like that in the Philippines. Nobody ever said nothing anyway. I know you can take the charter boats out into the ocean and fish, you know, but heck, you can also jump on those guys in the fishing boats. They got their nets, and you can fish off the back if you want. They'll take you for, you know, for 1,000 peso. They'll take you out. But the one time you go out and you don't see the land anymore, that's kind of freaky to me. And these little crappy wooden boats, and they got some kid bailing. He's bailing the whole time. I didn't like that. I like the bluegills, sunfish. Those are good eating. Well, there ain't too much going on with us anymore. We're gonna have some corn here in a little bit. But guys, I'm telling you what, if ever you run into a problem where you can't go to the can, I'm a super colon cleanse, guys. That's the stuff. That will fix you right up. Gum. I'll take a piece, yeah. Yeah, I'll take a piece. My little sweetie bought me a bag of gum. Right, sweetie?
Hello.
Hi. She got me some bubble gum. So I can blow bubbles, huh? Pull one up for me. Okay, I can't get my fingers to work.
Bubble gum.
My little sweetie. She bought that with her own money. Thank you, honey. Only a dollar.
Only $1.
I like this kind of gum. Double bubble.
I'm not dead.
I like to give it to kids too because it keeps their teeth clean. Even though there's a little sugar in it, it still cleans all the gook off your teeth. So that was their last day of school. Now we got the weekend. So we're gonna make popcorn tonight. I bought one of them air poppers and some Orville Redenbacher. So we're gonna have some popcorn tonight. Maybe put on a movie. And Maddie from school. He got an Uno game, and maybe we'll play that for a while. That'll be pretty cool. They're doing really good in school. I'm so happy that the teachers like them. They're well disciplined. So. Yeah, the bluegills, I had a buddy that showed me how to do them. I was filleting them a long way. You take your fillet knife, lay it behind the gill, and you push all the way to the bone on one of them boards. All the way down to the tail. Then you flip it over, and then you go to the skin. Now, I like the skin too, though. But then you go ahead and do that. You throw it in the cast iron skillet with a pound of butter, put a lid on it, and just let it brown. And I'm telling you what, it's like eating lobster. I'd say it's as good as lobster. But we just passed going to North Olmsted, we just passed a Red Lobster, and I told the girls next payday I'm going to take them out to Red Lobster and get us something rather good to eat. Yeah, I got a 150 pounder, big one, on a chicken gizzard. We threw a couple milk jugs in the water on a good nylon line. I'm talking a 1/4-inch nylon line. Down on the bottom, we had a bunch of rotted chicken gitters on a big treble hook. And I threw that way out into the river. Come back the next day, and I'm not kidding you. They was tugging them things underwater, all the milk jugs. I had it tied to the tree on shore and pulled that thing in. I'm not kidding you. That thing was huge. Biggest damn fish you ever seen. Biggest fish I ever seen.
You could let this cool down for a
Okay,
little
push that all the way. Thanks, sweetie. You gotta put some butter on there.
bit. I did.
Oh, thank you, honey. Look at that. Yum. Corn on the cob. I hope it ain't full of geophosphate. But it looks nice. That looks like sweet corn. Well, they say in every
I got it.
100 acres of field corn, there's a sweet corn in the middle. As long as you know when to pick it. But we used to go out in the wintertime and the corn, you break that off and it's like real hard and chomp on that. I used to go out to this Avon power plant. It's closed now, but they used to discharge hot water into the lake. Always catch a ton of fish there. Those big lake bass. And one time there was an old black fellow there, and I caught this really huge. It was like the biggest lake bass you ever seen. And that black guy wanted to buy it. He's like, man, I want to take that thing home. It was as big as the newspaper, because I had it laying on a piece of newspaper, and it was from one end to the other. It was as big as the newspaper. So I gave it to him. Hey, you can have it. What was I going to do with it? I wasn't going to take it home and cook it. I was going to give it away. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of places to fish, though, unless you're going to fish in the ocean. You know, the lakes and stuff inside, like Lake Lagoon and all that, there's nowhere you can fish there. You know, you just can't unless you go to somebody's private house. You gotta pay for one of the resorts, and there's so many people around, you really can't fish. I've seen down in Florida where people are on the beach and these people are surf casting and stuff, but people are getting hooked. We saw one woman got hooked right in her butt with a big leaded sinkered hook. The guy threw it out, didn't see her, and hooked her right in her butt. And they had to get the medics there to get it out and everything. I think I glow in the dark with all this shit they're giving me. I was telling the doctor, when's this stuff going to work? He says, that'll probably be a while. I'm poisoning you half to death. I said, yeah, I think you're right. But I'm still not 100%. I'm getting around like an old, you know. My mother at 95 got around better than I'm getting around now. So, you know, hopefully this is going to go. It seemed like that week that I had the chemo where they went from Thursday and pushed me all the way to the next Monday. From that Thursday to that Monday, I felt great. I was walking all around. I was having no pain. You know, my hands even stopped hurting. And then they poisoned me again. So hopefully, you know, this week it's going to be okay. I got 2 more. There was a place I used to fish for the big mouth bass all the time. I had a little tiny, I'm retired military. I'm going to the VA. They're taking care of everything. I had a 69,000 was not this after the last time, but before the last chemo, they sent me a bill for 69,000, and my copay was 16. And then we fell under the income guidelines, so I took it to the lady way in the back of the hospital. The I forget what they call her, but she's the one who helps you out. And I gave it to her, and then she went ahead and gave it back, 100% paid. I was like, oh, that is so cool. It was $1,600. You know, we need a car. We need a car real bad. You know, now I got to give them $1,600. That's car money. You know, but she says she's going to try to help us look for a car too. Well, I'm going to tell you one thing though. Coming back to the States, it really sucks not having a car here. Man, you can't do without a car in the United States. Philippines, you can live your whole life without a car. Here, forget it. You got to have a car. So I'm a little bit bummed we don't have one. And you know, the more you look at them, the shittier they get. I mean, some of these cars are just absolute garbage. You know, and they want $5,000 for them. Motors all rattling, puffing oil out the back. The exhaust is ready to fall off, and they want $5,000 for it. And if you want something decent, you're looking at $20,000. You know, 15, 20 grand, and I don't have that. No, I won't be going back. I'm not going back to the Philippines. I just had it. I just had enough of the Philippines. I hope our car sells over there and we can get the money here so I can buy one. But we got a new car. We got a nice house over there. But I'll never see it again. I'm not going back. My wife wants to. She wants to go back, but I want no part of it anymore. I just got tired of I got tired of the people, to be honest with you. Constantly nagging you all the time, got their hand out. Give me money all the time. I just got real tired of that. My buddy too over there too, he said the same thing. Everybody hounding you for cash all the time. And some of these people make more than I do. You know? So get rid of my gum. Yeah, well, we're back here. Maybe the Trumps will get in. We'll see. We don't know what's going to happen next election. Of course, they could steal it again, getting all these dang foreigners in here voting. Oh, I retired in 2011. I was already vested. I already had my 30 years and was vested. I couldn't collect my pension until I was 57, though. And so I worked there in the Philippines at a call center for a few years. And then I started getting my pension, so I quit doing that. And that was pretty cool. But guys, I got some corn. Hope you don't mind. Yum, yum. Hey, how you doing? I was telling them about this stuff. This is good stuff. If it don't work on you, you must be an alien or something, because it sure does work. Ask my buddy over there, Island Tracker. I just love corn on the cob. No, I was a high voltage electrician. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I worked for the state of California for years, running their high voltage system, and did pretty good. I moved along pretty good, made a pretty good wage. You know, I think my last hourly wage was like $54, $54 an hour. Yeah, me too. I mean, too, Mike. I can't have salt because of the kidneys, but it's still pretty good. Oh, okay. Yeah, we had a bunch of military guys over there in California. Seems like they hired the military guys before they'll hire anyone else. We had one fellow over there who was a generator guy. Boy, he was top notch, real good guy. Don't mind me, I'm picking on this corn. Yeah. Well, you know, when they got something good like this, I can taste this. Most of the food don't taste like it. Yeah, I saw that on there. A lot of years selling them Hondas. But good car, though. I mean, at least you were tied to a good vehicle, because I had a couple Hondas. I had that Honda Element. I wish I had that today. What a great car. And then I had that Honda Mobilio over in the Philippines. Another great car. You know, just fantastic. I got a sister-in-law. That's what she always runs, Hondas. You know, I think they're as good or better than a Toyota, to be honest with you. And they're a nice-looking car. But my Honda Element, boy, did I love that thing. That was the best damn car. And I fit in it. Wish they started making that again. Damn, I'm dropping corn all over the place. Well, when you're selling a good car like that, you can feel good about yourself. You know, it's not like you're selling a piece of junk. I mean, you're selling a top quality vehicle. They really know how to make them cars nice, the Hondas. That Mobilio we had, even though it was a little tiny 1500 motor, it had all kinds of power. I wish I had it here. That corn is good. I'm glad she found that at the store. Sometimes we see it, sometimes we don't. You gotta watch the stuff at Walmart. That stuff doesn't taste good. It tastes like gasoline, but this one's really good. Maybe they just didn't want to. Honda's kind of like Kawasaki, though. They're diversified into a lot of stuff. You know, like Ford Motors Company's in Ford Aerospace, and you know, one thing goes down, they keep the other end up. Oh, bummer. Yeah. First foreign car I ever had was a Peugeot. I had a Peugeot 304 and then a 504. What a piece of junk. Both of them burnt up. Driving down the road and just started on fire. I thought maybe the Russians built them. You know, you get a car and it's got a fire extinguisher right by your foot. You better start worrying. You know, that's a really nice, that Ridgeline's real nice, but they're, for me, I don't fit in them. They're too small. You know, I had no headroom at all. They're like for little tiny Japanese people, not for, 6'8" Americans. My wife would have fit in it real good. Well, guys, that's the end of that corn. Good thing I washed my hands. We got some the other day from Walmart. It had a little bit of gasoline taste to it. This is way better. Well, I don't like the GMCs because the roof is too low. The ones I fit in are the Fords because the ceiling's a lot higher. You know, where the Chevys, I got to scooch down, and I don't fit in those. They're too small. Like I had a Silverado, a 90, or it was a 91, I think. I just didn't have room in that. I shouldn't have bought it. It's four-wheel drive. I thought, wow, I got cash. I'm going to buy this thing, and I was miserable driving that for years. I'm having to scrunch my head like this behind the wheel. Couldn't do anything with the seat, And then finally I got rid of that, and that's when I got the Ford. I got that beautiful Ford with the 4.6, 4 on the floor and a fifth under the seat. Yeah, I like Chevys. Don't get me wrong. I just don't fit in them. They're too small. They're for little people. I just did not fit in that Chevy, even though I took it for a test drive. But when you get tall like this, GM's cars are not as good as the Fords. Ford's always got a lot more headroom. They're a hell of a lot nicer than the GMCs. Yeah, I'll be like Jaws with my big teeth sticking out the top. I'm hearing my phone doing something back here. I don't know what it's doing. I got that's the iPhone. Oh, there's Mike. All right. He sent me a motorcycle. Toyota motorcycles. There you go. Guys, there's a Toyota motorcycle. History of Toyota motorcycles. Turns out besides the two of them, Toyota also did the same business strategy. Japan Gentleman had a motorcycle business and sold to consumers a period of 1949 to 1960. At that time, the two-wheeled unit they offered was named Toyo Motors. Okay, so Toyota had a motorcycle. Looks like it's got about 3 horsepower, and it probably does about 20 going downhill. Most of these were for cities in Japan. You can't go fast there. I was over there in Japan. You drive through the city, you got to drive slow. They got those little cube cars, little teeny weeny cube cars that they drive, and they got a thing on there. If the motor's 660 or smaller, they get all these brakes, and they're gutless wonders. Yeah, well, something, I bought the Fords because I fitted them, buddy. I had to. And that last Ford I had, I don't care what anyone says, that was a really good truck. That was a great truck. It ran like a top. It had that 4.6 motor, and then it had the 4-speed stick shift, and I got it for like $17,000 out the door, and just a half-ton pickup truck, just like a Chevy, but the bed was all aluminum. The bed was not made out of steel. Guy said this is one that has the aluminum bed. Now the cab was steel, but he goes, the bed on this one is aluminum. So, and ran good. Boy, that thing ran like a top. Well, I don't know how much that insurance is going to cost me if there was 2 or 3 accidents. I just worry about that kind of stuff because she doesn't really look where she's going. So, we can run into somebody or run over a kid or something, and that's messed up for life, you know what I mean? And doesn't really know the laws here, like school bus laws and all that. I don't think it's a good idea myself, but I don't have the money for a car for myself, let alone her, so what's the difference, you know what I mean? And I've always been one, if I got a car, it's mine. Keep your fingers off it, because I was married before, and that woman, she smashed up a few cars, and that was a royal shame. Pretty much every car. I gotta find a toothpick now. Where'd them toothpicks go, Maddie?
I don't know.
I don't either. They were here. They were right here.
Don't know. I don't know.
I don't either, bub. They were sitting right there. I just saw them here half an hour ago.
Me too.
Well, take a look. Look around over on there. Who took them? They were in that round thing you gave me. Are they underneath that? Underneath that stuff there, where my wallet is? Maybe Mom moved them. Can't find a toothpick to save my life. And I just had a whole box of them sitting here on the table. And now I don't have any toothpicks at all, not a one. Nowhere to be seen. Oh, well. You got the windows open still? Maddie? Those windows are still open? Good. Good. Yeah, we need the windows open. Yeah, pretty much so. Me, I had a fella out there in where the hell was it? Idaho. Told me, you come out here, you can have my truck. He says, I got a truck. He says, I bought a car, you can have my truck. It's an older Ford truck, 85. He said it's got the 6-cylinder, 306, runs good, 3 on the tree. And he goes, it runs like a top. You know what the problem is? I can't put my kids in it. It would be for the wife and me and maybe one kid, because here in this state, you got more than 3 people in the front row of a pickup truck. The cops are going to stop you. So I had to pass on that. But he said, man, you can have it. You just come out here and get it, drive it home. I'll even give you the pay your registration and everything. Real nice fellow. Okay, we'll see you. We'll see you, Ronald. You take care, buddy, and I'll talk to you again. Yeah, I wished I could find those damn. Oh, here they are.
Yeah.
Maddie, I found them. They were over here. How'd they get over here?
Don't know. Can you open it? Okay, you can.
Can't do anything with my fingers anymore. Yeah, that's our buddy Ronald. He lives down there in Dothan, Alabama. All right, Watsons. You got Weston. Sorry. You guys take care. Glad you popped in for a little bit. I'm going to be going myself here pretty soon. I got stuff to do. I think I want to take a little walk before I go and take a walk out to the garage and check the motorcycle. The kids had the bikes. They were riding their bikes today, so I want to walk out there and make sure that they didn't put their bikes in the way of the neighbor lady so she can get her car in and out. But I need to do my evening walk anyway. So you guys all take care, and thanks for joining in. I really appreciate it. Just giving you a little update on what's going on around here. So, all right, talk to you guys later.
Are you done?
I don't know how to shut this off.
Are you done?
Console. Oh, yeah, I think so. No, I don't. It won't shut off. Sorry, guys. I can't even shut it off now. No, I don't know how to shut this off. Yes, and